Project Super9. In this set of films, or film, what we're going to do is go over modifying the carburetor and the airbox, but we need to get the old ones off. This hose up here that I've already pulled out took some force to get out. I used a pair of channel locks to go ahead and pull that loose, and you got a couple bolts down here that hold the airbox on, and one screw back in here that needs to be loosened. What we're going to do is show the modification of this and the modification of the 21, or the installation of a 21 carb and the manifold and what I've done to it. So let's start disassembling everything for the carburetor to get the stock carburetor out of there. And right here are two lines, water lines, that go to the carburetor. So what we're going to do is pinch them off, and we're going to disconnect them from the carburetor, and we're going to loop one of them back. Okay, I've disconnected one of the lines from the carburetor, and I need to pull this clip off here. It just holds everything to this pole, or this little part there. Now, this is the line I pulled off the carburetor, and when I pull the carburetor out, you can see where it goes. This is the other line that's still connected, and as you can see, it's loose and it twists. So I'm going to pull this up around and get it ready. And I'm going to pull the other line off and put this line on. Now that's just basically looped around. Take that off. And I'll slide the clip up. Okay, we've taken care of that. For the carburetor, this other line still goes to it, but the water lines are cut, or looped back, so we don't have to worry about them. Next thing we're going to do is, down here is the manifold. We're going to take it off at the manifold and lift it out. Now we're looking back at the inside of the scooter, from the front of the scooter towards the back. To give you perspective, this is the carburetor here. This is the shock that's above the carburetor. So just give you an idea which way we're looking. This here is the oil line that feeds the motor, and you have your oil pump right over here. It's a little bit hard to see, but if you're inside your scooter, you'll probably be able to notice it quite easily. The oil pump, and here's the oil line. What I'm going to do is go ahead and pull this line off. I kind of gave it a twist so it would break the rubber, or unstick the rubber. I'm going to pull that off. It's your oil line. Get that a little bit out of the way. And then I want to go over this here. Up here you have two lines that go to your carburetor. The line with the filter on it is, of course, goes directly into the carburetor. The other line here that goes to the top of the manifold, if you can see that, goes to the top of the manifold. That line there is the vacuum line, and whenever there's a vacuum from the manifold, when the scooter's running, it turns on a valve in here, and then that allows fuel to run down into the carburetor. So if you ever have your line off, you shouldn't have any fuel leaking from the line. Now I'm going to go ahead and give this a little bit of a twist here to make sure that rubber is going to come off when I pull and twist. Okay. There's the vacuum line that's hooked up to the manifold, and then the other one runs down to the carburetor. Here's the one that has the filter on it, and you can see I took it off up there, and I'm going to pull it off down here, and no fuel comes out of it because there's no vacuum. There's no vacuum on it. But if there was a little bit of a vacuum, you would get some fuel out of it. Now back to the top. It looks like we just about have everything up here done except for the electric choke. Here's your electric choke, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that off. It has a little ring on it that holds it in place, and it just simply pulls out like this, and we'll go on the inside to unplug it. And next we have is the throttle cable, and someone had said that you can get it loose without cutting it the way I previously have done them, so I am going to try to do that as soon as I get the cable off. And I might be in just a little bit here, just like that. There. It's very hard to see, but there's some little holes, and I'm told that if you use some type of poker, you can stick your poker in there and get those out. So I have several pokers, and I'm going to try them and see how this works. Let's see. So far it's not working, and I will try two pokers in a minute here. See if I can get one around this side, and I can try one on the other side.